Hello everyone, it's time for yet another installment of Beware the Batman discussions. Joining me for this discussion, appropriately enough, my ally always, Magpie. As we discuss the Beware the Batman episode, entitled Allies.
Featuring, prominently, Commissioner Jim Gordon, or in this series, Lieutenant Jim Gordon.
Yeah, so this episode.
Well, I like this episode. That's a good
Well, I wouldn't say it's the worst one so far. It's just
Are you kidding? It's the best one so far.
yeah, like I wouldn't say it's really like on the standards of this show. It's right upper, but it's really quite good. It's just like it's very deep as opposed to the last episode that was like very light on story. This one was very deep. It seemed to be moving other things forward, which is really cool.
I think there were a lot of really good themes in this episode.
Yeah. It's definitely like what I like about it is moving the Commissioner Gordon. It's moving the Lieutenant Gordon story forward, and we really needed an episode with him in it because it's been a while since we've seen him. So we
Not since Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah, so that's really interesting. So and we get a new villain in here, which is really cool. Something I wasn't expecting because I don't follow the comics as well as other people do. So yeah, this was pretty good. I gotta say I like a lot of what Barbara Gordon says in this.
Well, let me summarize the episode for the nice viewing peoples out there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, folks, in a nutshell, here's what happens. The episode starts with, since Simon Stagg's been arrested in the Metamorpho episode, in the Toxic episode, Simon Stagg's been arrested, basically his weapons and his chemicals and his shipping warehouse has been kind of clean for the pickings. So basically the mob, particularly Tobias Whale, has sent his men down there. Basically they're ransacking the place. And he says, Simon Stagg being arrested is the best thing that's happened to this city. And Batman has a great line, just kind of jumps down there and says, "No, your arrest is going to top that. Don't worry." Basically, got a great action scene. Batman, beating up the bad guys, real cool like. Then he takes down Tobias Whale. So yeah, all's good in Gotham, but of course that can't last long. We find out. We get an interrogation scene between Gordon and Tobias Whale. Just get him to tell him everything he knows and take down the other mobsters or any other operations, that sort of stuff. Then he finds out Tobias Whale and his really smooth lawyer in this scene.
Phineas Rex.
Phosphorus Rex.
That's him. Phosphorus Rex.
Phosphorus Rex, who we find out he is later, but
Milo Match.
Yes, Milo Match. Milo.
Can we just fit any more fire references into this guy's name? He has another. He has another name, where he's Johnny Flame.
What if Matches Malone was in this episode? Could we fit that?
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so Tobias Whale, Tobias Whale's, he's playing it nice and cool. He's just sitting there. He's not saying a word. Standard mob procedure. Anyway, so the guy, he's whispering to the lawyer, and basically the lawyer says, we're going to offer you a deal. You release my client with no, release my client, drop the charges, release my client, and all will be well. Before midnight. Before midnight, which is 4 hours from now, and everything's going to be okay. Basically, Gordon laughs, saying, "Why would I do that?" Because again, this is really great for the Gordon character, because this episode really plays the idea of corruption in Gotham. It's really something they've been very subtly hinting at. And it's still subtle in here, but they're starting to kind of bring it more to the forefront. I think that was really the subtext of this episode, kind of Gordon and corruption. Why Gordon stands out above the rest, and kind of him trying to bend the rules, but still he has to be that moral front, and he does bend the rules by working with Batman. later on. But anyway, it's like Gordon's his life, because Gordon would never take a bribe in his life or make a deal of this caliber with this guy. He's saying, that's not happening, fat chance. Anyway, he leaves, and we find out that some weird glowing figure has absconded with Barbara Gordon at Gordon's house, which really is an unsafe place. I mean, Humpty Dumpty can get in there, and now Phosphorus Rex. I mean, he's got to get new locks or something. Anyway.
Yeah, I'd be scared to leave her alone right now.
Yeah. Well, she is Batgirl, so no worries, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, not Batgirl yet in this series. We'll see. Anyway. So Barbara's kidnapped. Gordon is not happy to find this out. He's like going in there. And I'm kind of going through this, and we can talk about it, I guess, as we go through this. So, Gordon's not happy about it. He's like throttling Tobias Whale, who I like. Is really kind of this really easygoing. He's really not the most physical mobster, if you notice. Like anyone can throw this guy around. I mean, he's no Tombstone, and he's no Kingpin. He's like just basically Gordon's like throttling him, saying, where's my daughter? Punches him a time or two, I think.
Give me back my daughter.
Yeah, give me back my daughter. Not Liam Neeson style. Give me back. Where's my daughter? That sort of thing. Of course, Tobias Whale, he's playing it cool. He has like lines like saying, "Well, have you changed your mind about releasing me? Most unfortunate. If only her police officer daddy had taken the deal offered to him earlier." And of course, like Gordon's trying to get information about it, but the cops like holding him back, saying because he can't do it, he can't beat the guy up. That's the rules. Can't beat the guy up. He's saying, "Give me back my daughter." And basically, things aren't going well for Gordon. He's getting desperate. Oh, I kind of glazed over the Katana plotline. Maybe we should go back to that. Magpie.
Yeah, she's now joined up with Batman. She gets and she wants to. But Batman sort of says she's not ready, but she ends up going and chasing after him and joining up with him anyway through the episode. And she gets her mask.
Yes.
Which is a lot like the Robin mask, which I do have kind of a problem with it, but I've checked out a couple of her masks. I like the one with that's kind of like the Japanese flag on it. I would have liked it if she'd worn something like that, but this is more in line with what she's previously worn in the comics, so it's okay. I'm willing to buy this. I mean, this is the same universe where Superman can just put on a pair of glasses and be Clark Kent.
Yeah, I'll admit, maybe if she changes her jacket or something, because it does look exactly like Katana, plus a mask on a Katana blade.
Well, she has this other red mask that's kind of like Batman's. Wouldn't have minded if she'd worn something like that, but...
Well, I mean, it's just still, she's wearing the exact same clothes as she's been wearing throughout the series, so...
Yeah, it's kind of like...
But, maybe she just stops being a bodyguard and just works as kind of the sidekick, so she's only going out in that suit now.
Yeah.
But, either way, the point is, I think Katana's... I've really grown to love Katana through this series, by the way. But, plus, her animation design's really good in this episode. Well, and with the mask, too. I like the mask.
I don't hate it, it's just, oh, come on.
In a weird way, I think it opens her up to expressions.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Because really she's emoting in different ways now with that mask on, and I think it's kind of really getting to the core of, who she is personality-wise, which I really like. She's still kind of this fun character we've been getting, kind of, one that's saying, I need to punch something, or the one playing on the video game in the car. We're kind of getting that with the mask on.
Yeah.
Still serious and get the job done. Yeah, that's a good thing for a character, but also, she's designed well, too. Cha-cha-cha-cha. But anyway. Also, there is some of my very few complaints. Sorry.
Oh, I've got one.
I got one in this scene, so I'm bringing it up right now. But my complaint, I have very little complaints in this episode. Just my one complaint is in this scene. It's Katana. She's in this giant red suit. This basically Bruce is being a little protective of her because he doesn't want her to go out in the field really.
Yeah.
Yet. And you can tell he puts her in this giant red suit and she can't move a finger. She says, "Yeah, this is me trying to move my finger." She's not moving at all. Here's my problem with it. Now, if they were going somewhere with this, I wouldn't have a problem, because there's a line saying, "You've been putting me into suit after suit for a few weeks now." or for a while now. It's not getting anywhere. If that was like part of a training exercise, I like this part. But the problem is, it makes Bruce look incompetent. Saying, well, you know she can't move, and don't try to say, because I don't want her to go out in the field. That's still incompetent. It's just her, like, she can't physically move. I don't give, like, more lightweight and changing suits of armor like, as a training exercise. That'd be fine. But I'm sorry, it just bothers me.
It's all right. It kind of bothered me too, but I think it was just a joke. It was a setup for a joke for that one scene where she's wearing that red suit.
It's a fun. I guess it's funny. I don't know. It's still because of Bruce. That scene, that gag doesn't work. If there's anyone else, it might work. Because Batman, he's a serious guy. He's not gonna limit someone's mobility like that. But I would like it if they addressed it later on, saying, I trained in all these. You put on all these different suits, and maybe she gets a costume or something later on. For all we know, maybe she gets like Kevlar put under her limo gear, or sorry, not limo gear, her under her suit.
I've looked at a couple of pictures of her, like her in comic book form, and she does have some pretty cool suits.
Oh man, for all I know, maybe she could get like Bruce Wayne had in the previous episode, like Kevlar underneath her jacket and stuff.
Yeah, maybe
some gloves or something. I don't know. But the point is, maybe she's moving. They make a reference like suit mobility again, make it actually part of the plot, and that moment would be better for me, I think. But I'm sorry, I've gotten off track with that point. Getting back to the Gordon plot.
Yeah, Barbara's been kidnapped. He has to send Batman out, but then eventually gets to the point where he escorts via shotgun with what is it? Whale.
Yep, Tobias Whale. But wait, Magpie. Let me talk about the best scene in this episode.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I love this scene. I've been waiting for this scene. Anyway, so Gordon, he has 4 hours to get his daughter. Basically, he's in a bad position because I forget exactly when this scene happens, but it's basically the cops are rushing off, and he grabs one by the arm and says, what's happening? Basically says, all this stuff's going on downtown, and the case about Tobias Whale, it's been handed over to this other guy. Basically, Gordon's in a bad position right now where he can't help his daughter. And he's got, 4 hours to find him. He's kind of desperate. So anyway, he goes home, and he goes home, and I think, at first I thought this was like Gordon's little display here. He has like all the clippings of Batman, but it's probably Barbara's because she's a fan of Batman. There's like his little batarang held by a mobile, like a mobile. Like held by a string. It's like the string is casting a shadow on the wall. Now I noticed this. It resembles a bat signal, which we transition to a bat signal. Gordon's out of options here. He's contacting Batman. He's making an alliance. He's making a new ally. The bat signal's right there, and he says, this is stupid. Batman appears from behind him. Says, a simple phone call would have sufficed. Or, he says, you maybe should have tried a phone call. I like it, though. It's a really good scene, and it really gets down to why these two work together. And it's Gordon saying, we're not on the same side. I just need your help right now. And he says, Batman just from the outright says, I've been looking for her. He says, you have? Like, Gordon's caught by surprise here. He just knows Batman's been meddling because earlier scene he uses. I know I'm kind of going backtracking here, but in the earlier scene, when he stopped Tobias Whale, Gordon's there saying, well, it's police protocol. It's police protocol, and we had to go through this. That's why all the warehouses were getting raided. And basically, Batman says it would have been too late by then. He says we have to go through protocol. Protocol didn't get the job done. Basically, Batman has. It's showing these two do things differently. Batman's getting more results done, yet he's breaking rules that Gordon has to abide by. And this scene, Gordon has to bend the rules by working with Batman on this because he's exhausted all his options, and he's in a position where he can't do the job. He can't do the best he can at his job and help his daughter. So he works with Batman reluctantly, and Batman looks great in the shot. He has the classic triangle cape look. It's like just hiding the suit, just covering the arms. Really cool. But anyway, so they're working together, and he says, I'll plug the information in my computer, see what I can find. Really good scene. I really like it. It's just Gordon saying, I'm the hero, you're the vigilante, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and we get a No Man's Land reference in there too.
Take us through the cave scene, Magpie.
Batman's on the computer. He figures out where they are by saying, "Oh, I left tracking devices on them," which is kind of like, okay, fair enough. I would have liked to have seen him put one on the henchman.
Well, no, Magpie. It's he. No, I'm sorry. For a second there, I was thinking he put a tracking device on Whale, but he didn't. Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad. I kept thinking like he put a tracking device on Whale, which would make sense, but.
Yeah. So anyway, he figures out where they are. We get a reference. Oh, there's pretty much a no man's land over there. Yeah.
It's this little section of town that's been really hit by corruption, but particularly the kind of stock crash of Gotham.
Yeah. And so we got that. So
it's populated by ghosts.
Yeah. So who are these people that are like essentially left out there and with nothing? And so like they got.
It's kind of like Hoover Town from way back when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got we get that, and that's really cool and everything. Get to see Batman being a detective, and he tells Katana that she's not ready, which leads to what I said later, that she ends up chasing after him. And by Alfred's behest, or whatever.
Alfred has, classic words of wisdom from Alfred we're used to, saying, he didn't say not to go. It's like, along the lines of, he's saying actions speak louder than words, saying, you can still do it.
Yeah.
Just don't go prattling on about it.
Yeah,
really good. And again, these people hit by the economic depression have been basically condemned to this location. They blocked it off with cars, and this whole section of cars is a really nice visual, and they're wrapped up in bandages and stuff. It looks cool.
Yeah, they look like mummies.
Yeah, they're called ghosts, and really it's...
Yeah.
At first, I didn't see the bandages, and I thought it was like white face, and I was like, oh man, that's weird.
Yeah, and then like I said, we get Whale getting escorted by shotgun by Lieutenant Gordon back across the city.
Oh, but wait, you mentioned Barbara Gordon's scene way earlier.
Yeah, I just wanted to wrap up this synopsis.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and then we get Batman and Katana end up rescuing her, Barbara Gordon and everything, and that's pretty much the end of the episode. So, but there's a lot of little moments that I like Barbara Gordon asking what the grappler is, or Gatler, or whatever it's called.
Uh-huh.
And she says, "Oh, when can I get one?" Lieutenant Gordon says, "When you're old enough," and he says, "Oh, you'll never be old enough." So we get hints at the future where she'll be joining forces with him, but I gather I want her to look a little bit older before that happens.
Mike, but let me ask you this about that. Do you think the Batgirl hints are a little too on the nose?
There's one or two. I wouldn't have gone.
There's really a lot of them in this episode.
Yeah. Well, the ones that stick out so much is, one day me and him going across the city and everything. It's like, yeah, okay. But it's not nothing too bad there. I think there are a few that I wouldn't put in there, but it's okay. I'm not going to go crazy over it. So yeah, it's
just thought I'd bring it up because they have been seeing it in for a while now.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. It's not. I think it's to say, oh, see, we know, and everything is like, yeah, okay.
But in a nutshell, basically,
Batman
and Katana saved the day.
Yeah, I think they Yeah, I think they echo it a bit too much, to be honest.
Yeah. I like the just to kind of cover some points about the episode. I think that they're really smart about the titles for these episodes. By the way, for all the episodes so far, allies kind of has a double meaning in that it's allies working with Katana and working with Gordon, which I liked. And even to a degree, I guess maybe the bad guy, working with these the ghost, Phosphorus working with the ghost, I guess. That's a very slight one, but just kind of working with people, making alliances and stuff. I thought was good. And Barbara Gordon has a great scene where she's playing the smart. She's a smart captive, where she's being.
She doesn't do anything She makes fun of the bad guys and all that, which is what I expect from.
And she does it with logic. Basically, she's reviewing them, saying, "Don't trust the bad guy. Don't give him a fool. They're going to flee at the first sign of trouble." Saying, "Okay, if you want to screw this up, be my guest."
Yeah.
I thought it was really, really funny. And remind me of Phosphorus Rex's name again. Before he's Phosphorus Rex.
Milo Match.
You know what about Milo Match I really like? I really like how he's his occupation of a lawyer. He's basically like a lieutenant, but he's also a lawyer, and I thought it was a great idea. And it's kind of like this series has been really smart about almost taking a sort of Grant Morrison approach to things, bringing back old concepts, like the older villains that have lesser renown, and that's really the outset of this series, and bringing them back and bringing them to. So you're not. So far, I haven't really been missing the classic Batman foes because these guys have been interesting. You have Lunkhead, Magpie, not you, etc. It's been it's been good. And, this guy was interesting. Making him a lawyer. I think that's a change in the comic, but I'm not really familiar. This guy actually is a Morrison character from the Circus of Strange with Professor Pig. Well, Professor Pig and they were all part of a Circus of Strange, and so was this guy, Phosphorus Rex. And I don't know much about him, but I'm pretty sure I think it's different than when he was in the comics. But I like the idea of kind of this lawyer, and also giving him powers too, which caught me by surprise.
Yeah,
because I didn't know who that was with the glowing powers answering the door.
Neither did I. I was like, ooh, what are we getting? What's he in this?
Yeah. First, I was thinking. I had a few thoughts. I didn't think Firefly, but I was thinking there's another character called Dr. Phosphorus.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I didn't know, because there's also this other character who I didn't know if he was going to be in this episode or not, where I've seen the promotional materials, this green robot guy we should be getting in the next episode. So,
green, is he powered by kryptonite?
No, not Metallo. It's you'll see him in the next episode as Cypher or something, I think.
Yeah, that's right. We get Cypher next.
I've only seen I didn't really get a name off them, but I didn't know who this villain was, and I gotta say this with some of the reveals, we've been getting into that with these episodes now, how sometimes we see things coming or not.
Yeah,
but
this was such a by the number. My one complaint is such a by the numbers episode mostly. My daughter has been kidnapped. It's well, haven't we seen that before?
She almost was kidnapped and broken. Almost.
Yeah. Yeah,
she was just like a ploy. So
you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see next episode we get a very brief thing of Gordon helping his daughter train to fight or something, because it's well, I don't want you to get in that I want to stop you from getting into that kidnapped again and something.
That's a good idea. I'd like to see that also. Just kind of see her training or something. She was into gymnastics in the animated series, and apparently that gives you Robin prowess according to Dark Knight Returns. But still, it's seeing him train her, that was also conceit in the comics that Gordon trained his daughter so she could take care of herself, which did apply to her Batgirl skills before she became Oracle. Yeah, could be good. I wouldn't mind seeing that myself. But,
yeah, just a little scene. We don't need a big scene.
Yeah. But yeah, here's the thing. If you ever read the descriptions before you watch these episodes, like I push the guide button, I have like on demand, so I got like Comcast. So well, I'm pushing the Xfinity, I think it's called now. But anyway, I'm pushing like the information about this, find out when the show's on, see if like it's a new episode on or not, and I get a description. And the problem is the descriptions basically tell you what's happening in the episode.
Yeah.
It literally just says, okay, so he saves the day in the end. Well, don't tell me that. It says basically.
Like I know that might happen, but you don't need to go and tell me.
I mean, like for example, last episode with Katana. Basically, in the description, mind you, it says Bruce Wayne gets kidnapped by Dr. Ravencroft and Silver Monkey, and he gets rescued by Katana, and then reveals that he's Batman to Katana. That's in the description.
Ah.
Okay, why would who does that?
Don't tell me that.
Okay. No, I know. Yeah, it's just.
But back to the.
Yeah.
Do you want to just quickly wrap this up?
It's hard to quickly wrap this one up. Okay, a few things. I guess my only real complaint with this, other than actually my only real complaint with this episode is that I was caught off guard when Gordon was leading Tobias Whale to the location with the shotgun. I was a little curious like where that was going, and first I was like kind of saying to my TV in my head, I was saying, but listen, Gordon, don't do that. Don't bring him with the shotgun. Why do you need to take him there? He's going to escape or something. You're going to get in trouble. That's not good, man. But,
yeah.
So that's happening. At first, then I kind of figured, well, it is a time-sensitive situation. He probably needs to get a location out of this guy, and he's not going to turn him over. We know that. It's just getting a location. That's the only way, apparently, he can get it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I let it slide, because, he's going somewhere with this. And they do draw attention to it, so it's fine, I think. Let me get to this. What did you think of the ending that's kind of reminiscent of The Dark Knight? The whole, you remain the hero, I remain the vigilante. Remember the ending where basically he said...
Yeah, I think it was like, it was clearly influenced by that episode.
Yeah.
It was...
I didn't mind it. I thought it was interesting. My only kind of worry when I first saw it, I was thinking that, well, can they really buy that? And then there's like Whale's testimony. If Whale if Whale was like interviewed by another cop, he said, well, Gordon went crazy. You turned a shotgun on me, made me go there. But then, really, what Gordon's saying is basically, what Batman suggests is that, okay, I made you get a shotgun and lead Tobias Whale here. So I made you grab a shotgun so you could get Whale to show you where it is so I could stop him. Essentially, that's what he's saying, and I kind of wonder like if they would believe that story. But I'll say why not? Would you agree with that, Magpie? It's not too much out of the realm of possibility that could happen.
Yeah.
Batman forced Gordon not execute, but to lead this guy here.
I think. Yeah, I suppose so. But all right.
I do like this episode. Really, I like this episode very much. And in a nutshell, again, it just kind of plays with the. Really delves into the issue of corruption. Shows how like Gordon's willing to go down for what he did. Because he did break rules. And really, he had to bend those rules because the whole thing between Batman and Gordon in this series so far has been that the system's not working the best it can. Otherwise, Batman wouldn't be needed. And Batman's pointing that out to Gordon, saying, is that what you're going to do? Just throw it back into the system, the thing creator? And basically, you have a better solution? Is you don't pass the law, that sort of stuff, and the whole we don't need your help, and that sort of stuff. And it's kind of Gordon realizing, we do need to bend the rules sometimes so we can work together. But it's just. Then he's about to take the fall for it. Gordon gets handcuffed by Batman, and Batman's saying, you remain the cop, I remain the vigilante. Again, it's really good to me, and it's Gordon coming around. So we're probably going to see that relationship evolve more over time. But it's been building since Secrets, and I'm really satisfied seeing where it's gone. They're still playing with it. So, I really like this episode. I don't know if it's my absolute favorite, but it's definitely up there. I really liked it. Looking forward to it, really. Really good, and the Cauldron's a great concept. Hope to see that played with more also, especially with Anarchy maybe. But then I'm probably going to bring this episode up more as we go into the series. So, but anything else to add, Magpie?
No, not really. But I would say that this is not the best work, but it's not the worst work. It's just middle of the road, and it's kind of like by the numbers until about midway through, sort of plot-wise.
Yeah, again, it kind of plays that theme of corruption that Gordon will not, he won't give in to this guy's deal. The whole deal he has about, taking me to, basically you release me, put me on the streets, and in return I won't kidnap your daughter, do something horrible to your daughter. And it was like, I love how that showed the character of Gordon, that he's not giving in to this guy, but he's kind of bending the rules as his relationship with Batman. They foreshadow with this whole shotgun thing, which, good foreshadowing these two working together. I like that and seeing how it ended. I really like the ending of this episode. And Katana was great. Her working with Batman. Her working with Batman, we have different styles, which really relates to what he's doing with Gordon this episode. In that, they have different ways of doing things, but we can still work together. And I think Batman learned something in this episode when he's working with Katana. Because they worked well in the end.
Yeah.
And that's really, again, the parallels are really well done in this episode, I think. But I think that wraps it up for me. Again, anything else for you before we wrap up?
No, I like the last episode better than this one, but this was good. This was good.
Yes, I like this episode very much. That about does it this time, everyone. Remember, look up in the sky, look out for the bat signal. And remember, when you look up there, beware the Batman.
Beware the Batman.